Welcome back to the American Athletic Conference 2022 Media Days. Time now to talk about UCF. They go 9-4 in Gus Malzahn's first season with the Knights. When you look at season number 2, a lot of talent, but also some questions, particularly at the quarterback spot.
Well, and the big thing, though, for Gus Malzahn and UCF is, will they be healthy? Because that's what they struggled with last year. They were beat up, but they fought through it. 9 wins, and how about a Gasparilla Bowl win over Florida? I was at that game. Sold out Raymond James Stadium. It was huge for UCF. Yeah. So can they stay healthy? But yes, Mikey Keene stepped in, right, for Dylan Gabriel as a true freshman, did a great job, but John Reese Plumlee will move back to quarterback. He's a dynamic athlete at Ole Miss, played wide receiver. Now he's going to be back at quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see what Gus Malzahn says about that quarterback battle and what ensues through camp.
And they've got some guys to either pass it to or give it to. Isaiah Bauer, Ryan O'Keefe, a lot of talent there altogether.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Isaiah Bowser, to me, is the biggest thing because he was off to a great year last year. One of the guys that got hurt came back at the end of the year, came back strong. And then there were some questions, well, is he gonna leave? He comes back. That's a great running back for Coach Malzahn to have back there this year.
All right, let's get to the head coach, Gus Malzahn. Appreciate you taking the time. Already a fantastic first year there at UCF. Now having this team second year to chance to really build the identity. How have you seen that already start to pay off through spring ball and as you're about to start fall camp?
Yeah, first of all, we're real excited about this season coming up, and you just said it. We went 9-4 the first year. We faced major adversity. We had some major injuries to some of our top guys, and our team stuck together. And I think that's really the big thing. We ended up winning 9 games, won a lot of close games, which the way you win sometimes really helps you the second year. And then of course we had a big bowl game win, and we have the majority of the guys back from last year. I think that's very important from a leadership standpoint. We have 16 transfers coming in. We think we got some very, very talented transfers, and we have 8 from the SEC. A lot of those guys actually started, on their teams, and some were the best players, by that position. And then we've got a talented freshman group coming in. So really the challenge right now is we do have a talented roster, but it's just a matter of how quick we can bring those 3 different groups together. That's what we're talking to our team about. And but there's a lot of excitement. I think we have some potential here.
Awesome, Coach. I'm going to toss it over to Chuck Sullivan, who's going to tee up the media members for the questions for you.
Okay.
Thanks again, Chris. We're going to get started with Jason Beatty from the Orlando Sentinel, please.
Hey, Gus. Good to see you again. The preseason media poll came out this morning. UCF was picked to finish 3rd behind Cincinnati and Houston. It was close for the top 3, but what's your reaction to your team being chosen 3rd in the poll?
Yeah, first of all, Cincinnati was one of the best teams in all of college football last year and went to Final Four. And, I know they lost a lot of guys, but they're going to be really good. And then Houston, I think they won 11 games. So, yeah, that makes sense to me. Preseason polls, to be honest with you, really don't mean much, but that makes sense to me how the media would go about that.
We'll go next to Trace Trilko, Sons of UCF, please.
Coach, getting running back Isaiah Bowser through the season healthy has got to be a goal of you and your staff. What's an ideal number of carries that you'd like to see Isaiah have during a game?
I think it depends on the game. I do think Isaiah is one of the best running backs in all of college football. And, last year when he was healthy and playing, we were a completely different offense. And he's going to stay healthy this year. He's going to have a great year. As far as carries, I think if you're playing one of the top teams, you could see him carry it 30 times. But, the great thing we have now is we got great running back depth in that room. Johnny Richardson's a guy that, they were a 1-2 complement last year, and we got some other guys that can really play. So we'll try to be strategically smart with the number of carries, but the bottom line is winning games, and he's one of the best running backs in the country.
We'll go next to Kyle Nash from Black and Gold Banneret, please.
Hey, good to hear from you again, Coach. We were talking about a lot last year about, big plays where the Kings, when you got big plays on offense, you're more likely to score touchdowns. And Ryan O'Keefe was a lot of that, obviously. But now that guys are coming back from injury, does this kind of give you a great opportunity to become more balanced? And how has that kind of played into planning for the upcoming season?
Yeah. First of all, Ryan O'Keefe's one of the better playmakers in all of college football, and I think everybody saw that specifically. The last part of the season, he's set up to be one of the elite guys really in all of college football. And as far as being balanced, I think right now we've got a really, really talented receiving crew. We've got a very good offensive line, a veteran offensive line that's very important with the running backs we just talked about. It's just a matter of how quick we can name a starting quarterback. We do have two guys that I know for sure we can win with, and that's a true blessing. But just, which one's going to be the starter? But I really feel like this team can be very balanced. It can take what the defense gives you. It's just a matter, like I said, everything coming together because we've got some new guys that transferred in. How quick can we mesh together and really get to clicking? But, we're a very, very talented offensive unit.
Okay, next we'll go to Stephen Leonard with 24/7 Sports, please.
Coach, you talked about the new guys coming in. One guy you brought in very late, Mitch McCarthy from Australia, the punter. Can you talk a little bit about him?
Yeah, well, first of all, he's a very talented young man, and we could see that on video and everything. And then he gets over here. I really like his approach, and the fact that we've got two punters that we feel good about. I think that's very important too.
We'll go to Drew Gluchoff, Black and Gold Banneret, please.
How you doing, Coach?
Doing great.
Let's see. Last year you dealt with injury adversities like crazy, including to yourself. How has all of that changed your coaching mentality going into this season?
Yeah, that's a great question. Last year, it wasn't just the injuries. It was who the injuries were to. And it was some of our best players. The first 3 games of the year, we were clicking. And we if we'd have stayed healthy, we'd have been machine-like as the season went on. But, we lost our top guys. We really had to reach deep down in. I'm so proud of our team that, a lot of teams would have folded, would have splintered. Our guys didn't. They hung in there. We had really strong leadership that got us through those tough times. And so I think this year that's a huge benefit. And that's what I tell our team. We've got that experience with our leaders that we went through tough times. And, I really believe we're going to stay healthy this year, and that's going to make a huge difference.
Okay, we'll go next to Dan Tortora, Wake Up Call DT, please.
Coach, two-part here. First, having coached in the SEC, just what you could say about how you would define the American Athletic Conference now that you've spent some time from within it. And secondly, just what UCF brings to the national table and not just to a conference. Yeah, well, first of all, I was real impressed with the opponents that we played last year. And, of course, I knew a little bit about, some of them before previously. But it was a really tough road. A lot of really good teams. Obviously, Cincinnati making the Final Four was huge, and we got a chance to play them, and they were a complete team. Their coaching staff did an unbelievable job. They were great offensively, defensively, and special teams, and so I think that's big. And I think there's some very talented teams this year too. So it's we got our work cut out for us. I mean, our goal is to always win championships around here. And your second question, what can we bring? I mean, I just think that this situation here at UCF is set up, and it's set up great, not just, from a team standpoint, but Orlando, the best brands in the world are here in Orlando. There's no NFL team. It's a big TV market. There's just unbelievable potential, and that's what I'm most excited about.
Go to Andrea Adelson, ESPN.
Gus, you mentioned having two quarterbacks you feel you can win with. Just curious, headed into fall camp, if one of them is ahead of the other, and if not, how you plan on dividing up the reps to determine who your starter is going to be.
Yeah, so right now, I would say it's even as it can get. They both finished spring very well, and we just told them that, hey, we're going to go in this fall camp. We're going to have 2 scrimmages early. I hope that we can name a starter by then. But my experience with quarterbacks, setting a date and all that is really tough, because usually it's a time in fall camp or before the season that something happens where everyone on the team knows who the starting quarterback is. And a lot of times the coach doesn't even have to say anything. So we're hoping that happens. The good thing is that we have 2 guys, like I said earlier, that we can win with. And Mikey is much improved from last year as far as his strength, his speed, and everything that goes with it. And John Rice is a guy that is extremely quick, running the football, has great speed. But each practice, he got better throwing the football. He hadn't played quarterback in a year and a half. So, I'm really excited going into this season with those two guys, and hopefully we can name a starter sooner rather than later.
We'll go next to Leo Haggerty, Amped Up Sports, please.
Coach, a quick question, a follow-up. You followed two head coaches who had basically the same offensive philosophy as you do. Did that make it a lot easier when you took the head job?
I think so. They at least they were similar for offensive systems about playing fast. And I think that's probably the biggest thing that our players I inherited as a group that's used to playing fast. And I think that's very important, from a program standpoint. And that made my job a lot easier once I came in here. Now, if you take back to last year, the first 3 games we had everybody healthy, we were playing extremely fast. And then we had to insert a true freshman quarterback that was 18 years old. And so we kind of slowed things down to make sure that, and we were learning him and his strength as we went too. And then we were able to play faster. But, that's a big goal of ours this year is to play faster.
So quick follow-up to that. In terms of football, you're in baby stages there when it comes to how long that program's been in existence. Are you impressed with the fan base and how active and how vociferous they are?
Yeah, there's no doubt. I mean, first of all, this is an unbelievable place and unbelievable fans. The fan base is different. I mean, we're a young group. The energy's unbelievable. And the fact the program's not been around that long, I think makes it even that much more special. And, you can feel it. I really feel like we're fixing to take that next step. We got to do it on the field, but, the way we're able to recruit right now and just the excitement of our university, really our leadership, from our president to our athletic director, everything is in alignment. And like I said, it's set up. We just got to seize the moment on the field.
Go back to Trace Trilko for a follow-up question, please.
Coach, going into preseason camp, what's the biggest question you're hoping to answer on the defensive side of the ball?
Biggest question on the defensive side of the football is we don't have much depth, returning depth at the linebacker position. We got a lot of transfers. They're very talented that came in. And so it's just going to be a matter of putting the pieces of the puzzle linebacker-wise. And we're going to scrimmage early. Hopefully that'll help. We can start putting some guys in order. But really, from a defensive standpoint, we have a great idea about our defensive backfield, which I think we're very talented. And I think we got a good idea about our defensive front, which a lot of guys are back. So it'll be about getting the linebackers straight.
We'll go back to Kyle Nash for another, please.
Yeah, Coach, you have two members in your secondary that are on awards watch list, Devon Wilson and Devontae Brown. You mentioned all the youth in there and that lack of returning depth. How big is their leadership bid in bringing in all these transfers up to speed?
Yeah, I think it's really important. Most of our secondary is back, and those two that you just, talked about, they played a lot of football. And, I thought we did a really good job of keeping the ball going over the top of us last year. And, that's always a stress from a coach's standpoint. But like I said, the majority of our guys are back. I think all of our starters are back in the secondary, which is really big.
Go back to Jason Beatty from the Orlando Sentinel with another.
Hey, Gus, this is the last year for UCF, Houston, Cincinnati in the American Athletic Conference. Do you think it'll be a challenge at all to keep your team focused on this season and not look ahead to next year's conference games in the future?
No, there's zero chance of that. I mean, we got our hands full in this conference. Our guys have great respect for the teams that we're playing. And, we've got a challenging schedule. Our guys understand that. And that's all that we're talking about. We're talking one game at a time. Our goal is to win a championship in this league. It's extremely hard to do. We talk about the next conference, recruiting and all that, but our guys will not look ahead. And they'll be very focused this season with the conference that we're in.
And we'll go to Stephen Leonard, please, for another.
Coach, would you like to book, with UCF winning the 2013 title, what would it mean to bookend the American Athletic Conference for UCF with conference titles?
Yeah, I mean, I think that'd be really cool from a fan standpoint and all that. But like I said, this is a very talented conference. I think you can see the players that they have, the teams that they have, and so we're looking forward to it. And like I said, it's a really challenging conference.
Thanks so much, head coach Gus Malzahn. Looking forward to watching you guys kick off the season here shortly. Have a great and healthy fall camp.
Thank you.
Gus Malzahn in his second season there at UCF. I mean, he touched a little bit on the quarterback battle. And We've seen a lot of this in college football. Maybe some of it is because they don't want kids to transfer right after spring ball, but not naming a starter until midway through fall camp, and that's what it looks like Gus is doing.
And you're going to see more of it. If I was a betting man, I think it's going to be Plumlee. And
Really?
the reason why is he's multi-talented in terms of running and throwing the football. I think he fits in really well with the offense Gus Malzahn wants to run. And the zone read with someone like John Reese Plumlee and Isaiah Bowser is going to be tough for defenses to handle.
How about Gary Bohannon, that is the one school, Baylor, by the way, who they did announce who was going to be the starting quarterback after spring. Allowed Gary Bohannon to transfer. Also, he's had some starting success as well.
Yeah, and how about Gus Malzahn saying 8 players from the SEC have transferred to UCF. Now, I look at my notes, and remember, the transfer portal is kind of like free agency, so my notes could be wrong as I sit here. But Kobe Perry and Jason Johnson, 2 players that transferred to UCF. You say, what's significant about that? They were both FCS All-Americans.
Wow.
One was a safety, one was a linebacker. They transferred in, so you can see Gus Malzahn, defensive coordinator, call him T. Will, Travis Williams, trying to shore up that defense, especially that linebacker spot. They feel good up front defensively. The back end, they feel real good. It's kind of that linebacker spot, that middle tier is what they want to shore up on defense.
Well, let's get to a player who did transfer to UCF, but 2 seasons ago, Isaiah Bowser, who came over from Northwestern for his second season there at UCF. You look at what you did last year, 703 yards. At what part of your game do you want to get better for this last season?
This year I want to be a little more explosive. I think I showed that a little bit last season, but definitely something I want to improve on this season.
Hey, then we'll go to questions from the media for Isaiah. We'll start with Jason Beatty from the Orlando Sentinel, please.
Isaiah, what is something that you've worked on this offseason to stay healthy this upcoming season? Obviously, injuries happen, but how have you kind of made sure that your body's going to stay mostly healthy this year?
Yeah, so something I started doing this offseason to make sure I stay healthy is yoga. I've been doing that twice a week for a few months now, and I've already noticed, a significant change, just the way I feel every day, especially just throughout practice or workouts every single day. I'm feeling fresh and ready to go every day, which is better than I have felt in the past. So that, as well as Pilates also, just for core strength and working on muscles that a lot of people don't, typically get to work on.
We'll go next to Drew Gluchoff, back of Black and Gold Banneret, please.
Isaiah, the running back core continues to improve its depth and grow. How do you think that's going to help with keeping you healthy this year?
Yeah, our running back room is incredible. We got a lot of talent in there. That's only going to help me. Obviously, I don't. Whenever I come out, we have another running back that can come in and make plays, make big plays at that. And so, I love it. I love to practice with those guys every single day and just, we all work together to push each other and become the best that we can.
We'll go to Trace Trilko, please, Sons of UCF.
Isaiah, what's an ideal number of carries for you a game that you feel comfortable with?
I feel comfortable with, 40 carries. I feel comfortable as many carries as, coach feels, I deserve or I need that game, in order for us to win. But, the main thing for me is, I just want to win the game. So whether I get, 15 or 40 carries, it doesn't really matter to me. I'm just trying to win.
We'll go to Stephen Leonard, 24/7 Sports.
Isaiah, obviously you and a lot of the other seniors decided to come back all together to win the conference championship. Do you think you guys are in prime position to do that now? I know you guys were ranked 3rd in the media poll. So.
Yeah, we've been working really hard this offseason, and we've been developing more leaders. Me as one of those leaders, who's been stepping up and really trying to, lead the team. And, I'm confident in, that we have a really good shot at winning the conference this season. It's all about coming together in camp, and putting all those pieces together. But we have a really good team going into the season. And I'm confident that we will win the championship this year.
Go to Matt Marshall from the Orlando Sentinel, please.
Hey, Isaiah. I wanted to ask, I know during spring, Gus was giving some of you guys a little time off, during practice. Didn't want to get you out there, use you guys a lot. Do you anticipate, does that help you out for one thing, getting healthier? And do you anticipate maybe doing a little bit more of that in the fall?
I'm not sure the approach, coach will have for me going into this fall, but I really want to go out there and practice as hard as I can every day, just so I can get my body ready for the season. So whatever that looks like, whatever Coach Malzahn and Coach Harris have for me, practice-wise this fall, I believe in that, and I'll be ready to go for whatever it is.
We'll go to Kyle Nash, please. Black and gold banneret.
And from that perspective, you're also uniquely positioned to see the defense. So throughout the spring and leading up into now, practice.
I can't hear much of what you're saying. You're breaking up.
Okay, rose up, Chuck. Okay, we'll move on to Dan Tortora, please. Wake up call DT. We'll try to get Kyle back.
Isaiah, Coach Malzahn called you one of the best running backs in college football going into this season. Just your thoughts on why he would say that, and Johnny Richardson, and just what you can do to play off of each other this season.
Yeah, I think Coach might say that because, I feel like I'm all around running back. I feel like there's not much, not my game is missing in terms of all around running back. I feel like I can block and catch and run the ball. So I feel like that might be a reason Coach Malzahn has said that. Also, I think he just sees the potential in me based off of spring and just last season. And then, Johnny Richardson, man, as you guys saw last year, he's really explosive running back, and he's gotten even better. I've seen that in this spring. I'm like, dang, he's gotten way better. So I think you guys will be excited to see what Johnny does this season too.
We'll take one more from Andrew Gluchoff, please.
So do you have any specific metric goals that you want to hit during the season? Like, I want to hit 800 yards, 1,000 yards, any particular goal you want to hit?
Yeah, I definitely want to go for over 1,000 this year. But, the main thing I'm trying to win the championship. So, as many yards as I need, whether that's, 1,000 or 2,000 yards, whatever it's going to take for us to, win every game and win the championship.
Appreciate the time, Isaiah. Good luck during fall camp. Excited to watch you play this season again.
Thank you.
Things have changed a bit, Rainey, since you were running the football.
Yeah.
Did you do Pilates, yoga, try and keep your body in
I
good
did
shape?
not. It probably would help me, but I'm a huge Isaiah Bowser fan. I think he's really good, tough, hard-nosed, downhill runner. You heard him. He's going to work on his explosiveness. I mean, the offense will go through him. And the one thing we didn't really talk about, offensive line brings a lot back. Herb Hands, the offensive line coach there at UCF, one of the best offensive line coaches in the country. So, with a healthy Isaiah Bowser, and listen, he joked 40 carries. He could carry the ball 40 times a game. He really can. Yeah. He's that type of running back. 35 carries, 155 yards against Florida in the Gasparilla Bowl. They didn't have an answer for him. So look for a big year out of Isaiah Bowser.
Hopefully he can stay healthy.
Yeah.
Came back for his senior season, ran the ball 159 times, 703 yards a season ago. We're still wondering who is going to be the person that hands him off the ball.
I told you my prediction.
We do have a lot back that will be catching the football at tight end, and Gambar Campbell, a transfer from Florida that gives them also a receiving threat. Also, Ryan O'Keefe, wide receiver, who had 84 receptions and 7 touchdowns a year ago. Ryan's joining us now. Ryan, we appreciate you hopping on. When you look at this season, for you, what will be the difference in this offense in terms of trying to progress it from where you guys left off a year ago?
I feel like we're just more confident as a team. I feel like last year we went through a lot of adversity, but we stuck together like Coach Gus said. We had a team, and just going through the spring with these guys, I feel like we're so much closer as a team, and we really have the same goal. We're all getting on that same page, headed toward the same direction.
We'll go right to questions for Ryan, please. Use the raise hand feature in the chat. We'll start with Jason Beatty from the Orlando Sentinel, please.
Ryan, this was the first summer where you guys could work out a couple hours a week with a football.
Right.
How do you think that helped you and the team kind of work on stuff this summer?
I feel like it just helped us build chemistry overall. Like I feel like even with those 2 practices, that got us understanding that the stuff we need to work on outside of practice, we started doing extra practices outside of it. So just, getting that started and, just getting our foot in the door with extra workouts, I feel like it's been very beneficial. But at the same time, I feel like we've been just building that chemistry that's needed to win a championship.
We'll go to Trace Trilko, please, Sons of UCF.
Brian, what's the challenge for you as a wide receiver when you have uncertainty at the quarterback position, not knowing who the starter is as preseason camp gets underway soon?
The challenge is to be my best each and every day, control what I can control. I feel like in the receiver room, we understand that we have 2 guys that we can win with either ways, but whoever Coach Gus named as the starter, we're going to be right behind him. We're going to rally behind him, just follow his lead.
Next will be Steven Leonard, 24/7 Sports.
Ryan, you've been named as a leader on this team. A similar player to you, Xavier Townsend, the freshman wide receiver. Mm-hmm. Have you really taken him under your wing this offseason?
Absolutely. Me and Coach Gus be talking about him all the time. Like, I just see him in me. Like, I can see myself in him, He's very explosive. Like, just in runs, he be in, the front. He's a really hard worker, so I'm really happy to see that just from a young guy. Like, a lot of young guys, you got to get adjusted at first, but he's hit the ground running. I feel like, he's going to get in the rotation a little bit this year, and I'm excited to see what he does this year.
We'll go next to Drew Gluchoff, please. Black and gold banneret.
So last year, Coach said that at one point you were the focal point of the offense. The ball was to come through you, culminating in an amazing Gasparilla Bowl performance. How do you encore that? How do you take it to the next level?
Yeah, I've been reading books about that. I just understand that I got to have a lot of eyes on me. I can't let the pressure affect me anyway. I'm going to go out and attack each and every day and get 1% better each and every day, focus on what I can control and, just find them parts of my game that I feel like I need to improve and work tenaciously at that so I can just be an all-around receiver.
We'll go next to Dan Tortora, please. Wake up call, DT.
Oh, yeah, Ryan, taking a look at your 2 quarterbacks, Keenan, Plumlee. I know that we're still trying to figure out, obviously, who that's going to be to start the season, but specifically, what can you say about their skill sets and what make each quarterback a viable threat this season for UCF?
Yeah, so I feel like they each bring something different. I feel like JR, he brings that running component that teams got to honor, and they're gonna have to do that. And then you got Mikey, he's very knowledgeable about the game. He understands the best way to approach games, the best way to read defenses. He's really knowledgeable. So I low-key learned from him last year, just coverage and stuff. So I feel like his part of the game is just very knowledgeable, very a general on the field.
We'll go back to Jason Beatty, Orlando Sentinel.
Ryan, you launched your own line of merchandise last week. We saw on social media. How do you feel like you've been able to capitalize on NIL at UCF?
Yeah, NIL has been a very cool thing for me. I feel like I've been focused more on partnerships rather than just the money deals because I feel like a lot of what I can do now can translate into the future. So if I can build partnerships with all these name brands now, who knows where it can lead in the future. So I feel like NIL has been a very good thing for me. I feel like Orlando's a very good marketplace. And, a lot of people come here for a vacation. We play with a World Vacation, so it's a perfect spot for NIL.
And we'll try Kyle Nash, black and gold banneret, please, for the last one.
Thanks, Chuck. Hey, Ryan, listen, for all the talk that this offense has with the running back core, give your guys some shine. How deep is this receiver core and how excited are you? What do they bring to the game that could make this offense super explosive?
Yeah, I feel like we got our receiver room is deep like the running back room. I feel like each of us bring our own component to the game, whether that's speed, whether that's knowing how to get open on your routes, create separation, or whether just go up top. But I feel like we're all hard workers. We band together as a group of brothers. We be doing extra stuff with each other, just doing everything we can. But I can't wait to see what the receivers around me do because a lot of attention has been on the quarterback situation, the running backs, all that. But my receivers, I can't wait to watch them.
I appreciate the time. Good luck this season. Looking forward to watching you play.
Thank you. I appreciate it.